Hey Big Lap Bible, my name's Sophie from Sophie Heron on Instagram, and I'm currently travelling Australia full time. I'm doing the Big Lap solo, and this was a super spontaneous decision. I was originally just going to travel from Brisbane to WA, but I figured by the time I get to the north of WA, I'm going to be more than halfway around, so might as well just keep going. I've always wanted to do the Big Lap, I just didn't think it was going to happen this soon. I'm a super spontaneous person and never really plan any of my trips properly, simply because I love the excitement of not knowing what's coming next and also having the freedom to go wherever and whenever I want. I'm currently on the south coast of New South Wales in Jervis Bay, and if you haven't been here before, you have to add it to your list because it is absolutely beautiful. This is my setup here. So I bought a Mazda BT50 brand new last year, and my whole goal for the car was to set it up to be self-sufficient so that I can literally camp anywhere in Australia. I've got the alley cab rooftop tent on the top, which I'll set up for you in a minute. I've got an awning that comes all the way out and can be fully enclosed if the weather's really bad. I've got a slide-out kitchen, slide-out fridge freezer here, which drops all the way down. Super handy if you're short like me. Pop that away. Then got a slide-out kitchen here with gas cooktop, hot and cold water on this tap. And then on the other side I have a hot water system with my shower, and then storage for clothes, pantry and all the other bits and pieces. I love staying in national parks and free camps because they're usually in the best spots, but I found that along the coastline the caravan parks are more prominent. So far on my trip I think I've free camped roughly 6 out of 7 days every week and absolutely love it. And I usually only book into a caravan park if the weather's really bad or if I need to do some washing. Honestly, so hard to choose a favourite campsite because they've all been so awesome, but if I had to pick a top 3, I think they would be Conjola National Park because the sunrise was so epic while I was there, Illawara Reserve, which is a free campsite and it's got this incredible river that goes right around the campsite, and also Shoal Bay, just because the surrounding area was so stunning. So many incredible beaches and coastal walks. You really just have to see it for yourself. And out of all the places I've stayed, I haven't had any bad experiences, so there's no places that I wouldn't go back to. I can't narrow Australia down to just one best place to visit because we honestly live in such an incredible country with so many unique and stunning places. But if I had to narrow it down to a top 3 again, this would definitely be it. I'm in Perisher right now in the snow. The second one would be Lincoln's Rock in the Blue Mountains. It's an incredible rock formation overlooking the gullies and mountains, and it's perfect for sunset and sunrise. And the third one I think would have to be Belmore Falls, which is inland of Wollongong, and it's a double drop waterfall surrounded by the most incredible rainforest and like turquoise blue waters. Yeah, so that would be my top 3. I'm really looking forward to visiting Rottnest Island because the quokkas look so cute, and I'm also excited to explore South Australia and Western Australia because I've never been to either of those states before. One of the funniest experiences I've ever had while road tripping was when I was in Tassie and staying in Lake St Clair, and they had this outdoor camp kitchen which I was in making dinner, delicious pasta. So I cooked dinner and I just sat down to eat, and this possum walks through the door. And I love possums, I think they're adorable, so I'm like, oh, how cute. But if you've never been to Tassie, the possums there are gigantic, like literal monsters, like 4 times the size of the possums we have in Queensland. Anyway, this possum walks in the door and I'm like, oh, so cute, like how awesome. And within 2 seconds, it had jumped up on the table and was trying to eat my dinner. And you know, I'm still thinking, oh, this is so adorable. But it was very persistent and it kept trying to get my dinner. So I'm kind of like nudging it away, you know, it's not getting the hint, it's not scared of me at all. And in less than a minute, another possum walks in through the door. Next thing you know, they're both up on the table, both trying to eat my dinner. I'm like, come on guys, this is my pasta, go find your own food. So there's 2 possums on the table. Within the next few minutes, another 2 had come in the door. I'm fully surrounded by possums at this stage and getting kind of annoyed because I'm, you know, nudging them away. They're like cats all over the table trying to eat out of the bowl. Anyway, so there's 4 possums. Next thing you know, 6 possums. There's 6 possums in this camp kitchen and I'm just trying to eat my dinner in peace. And by this point, you know, they were all over the table, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to get up and find somewhere else to eat. So I moved to the corner of the camp kitchen and I've got my bowl of pasta, trying to eat it as quickly as possible. And I'm looking around, and because it's an outdoor camp kitchen, you know, only some of the walls were enclosed. There are possums coming out of the ceiling to come and try and get my dinner. By this point, there's like 8 possums in this tiny little camp kitchen, huge possums, and little old me trying to eat my dinner. And they're, you know, fully surrounding me. They've cornered me in the camp kitchen, and at this point I'm just terrified that one's going to run up my leg because they're that desperate for this pasta. The next thing you know, one's jumped up onto the kitchen bench, is in the sink, and is trying to like get to me from the sink to eat my pasta. And yeah, needless to say, I ate my dinner very fast and left in a hurry because those possums were wild. The item that I can't live without would definitely be my camp kettle. I drink so much tea every day, so it gets a really good workout. And it was also given to me by my friend as a goodbye present, so it's a really lovely reminder of home as well. And the item that I haven't used yet would be my fire extinguisher, which is definitely a good thing. But apart from that, everything else I've packed has come in handy and it's all been essential. I'm a products and lifestyle content creator, so I'm funding my big lap by working on the road. I work with heaps of awesome brands capturing images for their social media pages, websites and marketing campaigns. And because photography and adventure are 2 of my greatest passions, it's so awesome that I get to travel Australia and get paid for it. I don't really keep track of my spending or have a budget, but I'd say that I spend between $250 and $300 a week. I'm free camping a lot, so there's no expense there, but I usually fill up with fuel once, maybe twice a week, depending on how far I'm traveling. So diesel is definitely my biggest expense, and then food would be a close second. Something that I didn't know before I left is that it can be quite tricky to find places to fill up your water tank, especially if you're staying in free camps and national parks. But what I found really helpful is that on wiki camps, there's actually a filter section, and you can select water facility as one of your filters, and then it'll bring up all the places in the local area that you can fill up your tank. What I love most about road tripping is being outdoors 24/7. I love sleeping under the stars, hiking through the mountains, and being able to watch the sunrise in a new and different place every day. And I absolutely love that I have the privilege to go running and swimming whenever I want and call this beautiful country my backyard. The thing that I splurged on most when setting up my ute was definitely the Alu Cab rooftop tent, but I think it was 100% worth it just because it's so easy to set up and pack up. And it also outranks most rooftop tents because you can pack all your bedding inside. You don't have to take your pillows and sheets out every time you pack it up, which is awesome. And it also comes with lights and charging points, which basically makes it a mini bedroom. I'm only 2 months into my lap around Australia, so lockdown didn't affect this trip, but I did have other plans to go to Europe, so that trip was cancelled. I think my biggest tip for other big lappers is to take your time. Don't rush, see everything you possibly can, experience everything you can, and enjoy this for what it is. Absolutely epic. So this is my setup here, currently staying in Lake Jindabyne. In the back of the car I keep a few things, so I've got my photography and my work gear here, with a clothes rack that I made to hang up some dresses and clothes. And then this is the kitchen, living and dining area. Got a slide out fridge freezer combo here, which drops all the way down. And I decided to go with the Dometic 95 litre fridge freezer, which has been awesome. Got my food on this side, and then plenty of space for ice cream in the freezer. And underneath the fridge there's lots of space, so I've decided to store some of my tools here. Got an axe, shovel, my awning walls, and then little tools and tapes and stuff there. Fire extinguisher, 170 amp hour lithium battery, slimline, and my hot water system. And above the fridge here, I've got a storage space for my camping table, so it folds down and slips in there. And this crate here is for all my outdoor stuff. So I've got firewood, kindling, hiking boots, all of those kind of things. And above the box, I've got space for my camping ladder to fit into, with my gas bottle at the back, a double connector for the hot water, and the gas cooktop. And then at the back, I've made another little rack here for my shoes, because that was dead space and shoes take up quite a bit of room. Then I've got my toolbox at the back and a hose to fill up my water tank. And over here, because I've got my sink on this side, I've got dishwashing detergent, hand soap, and scourers. And then I've got a slide out table here, which is really handy to chop up fruits and vegetables and prepare all my food. And then when I'm doing the dishes, I can put my little dish rack up here while I wash them. The tap swings across, and I've got hot and cold water for the tap. And that just swings back in when I'm done. And then the dish strainer sits on top so the water can drain into the container. In this drawer is all my cooking gear, so I've got chopping board, containers, fry pans, saucepans, and also room for my sink when I'm not using it. And then tea, cooking oil, and other little essentials. And then in this other drawer, I've got my gas cooktop, so it's a double burner stove, and at the back there, room for cutlery and utensils. And over here, I've got my camping table set up, so I use that to eat and to work. And I also decided to go with the double camp chair because I love to lay down in the sun and read, so it's handy having that extra bit of space. And a little stool which comes in handy for getting into the back of the canopy. And then up here I've got my awning. And behind both doors I've got LED strip lights, so that lights up the whole area at night. Underneath I've got my 110 litre water tank, and this is where I'm staying in Lake Jindabyne. The view is absolutely stunning, and far off in the distance you can see snow on the mountains. And this is what it looks like from the back. This ladder is collapsible, which is super handy, going up into my rooftop. This is actually the size of a double bed, so there's heaps of space for me. And then up the back there, I've got pouches for things like shoes, drink bottles, and fairy lights all around the edge, which look really pretty at night. And there's another light at the top which comes with the rooftop, and then charging points down in the corner. And on the other side here, I've got all my storage. So on the side, there's my shower mat and shower curtain. And I've got a few drawers for clothes. And then in this one, I keep my towels, tea towels, a hiking pack, and a few other little bits and pieces. This bottom drawer here is for all my essential stuff, so like washing powder, soap, umbrella, a little hammer. And then in this box is where I keep glue, pegs, clothesline, just all the essential little things that you can't live without. And then two drawers for a pantry, so I store all my dry food on this side, like cereal, rice, sugar, that kind of stuff. And this bucket here is where I keep my dirty washing, so that bag is full of stuff that needs to be washed. Another view of my hot water system from this side. And this is my electrical panel, so I've got switches for my power socket, which charges things like electric toothbrush, camera, laptop, phone, that sort of thing. And that's to turn the water on and off, that's to make it hot and cold. This one is for the rooftop tent to turn the power socket on. And then I can switch my lights on and off as well. I've got a handy little dustpan which slips in there. And then this is where I store my shower, so it just clips in up the top. And then clips onto the canopy door. It's a bit tricky with one hand. And all I do is I lay my shower mat down on the ground and hang my shower curtain up, and I'm all ready to go. And I've got a little mirror here that folds out too, which is also a handy little thing to have. And then on the other side of the car, I keep my wash bag. So this is really handy for all my toiletries and super handy when I'm in a caravan park and I just want to grab everything for a shower. And a little picnic basket and my clothes from the other side. And that's it. That's my full setup. It's all self-sufficient. Oh, and I've got my solar panel on top of the rooftop tent as well.